shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done. When the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is foul.
And foul is fair.
Hover through the fog.
And filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight of the revolt the newest state.
Hail, brave friend, say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art, but all's too weak. Brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, like Valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unshamed him from the nave to the chaps and fixed his head upon our battlements.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honour both. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looked through his eyes.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that the brave Macduff, full lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness! No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
But he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
A weird sisters,
Hand in hand.
Hosters of the sea and land.
thus do go about.
About.
Thrice to thine and thrice to mine.
And thrice again.
To make up 9.
Peace!
The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called to forest? What are these? So withered and wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on't.
Speak, if you can, what are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear the things that sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical or indeed that which outwardly ye show? If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail.
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 Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I'm Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say, from whence you owe this strange intelligence, and why, upon this blasted heath, you stop our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you!
Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor, too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here? Cousin, speak aloud, we cannot hear you.
For fear thy beard do groweth o'er thy face.
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and for an earnest of a greater honour he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
The trusted home might yet enkindle you to the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray in deepest consequence. Cousin, a word, I pray you.
2 truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill. It cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and makes my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature?
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him like our strange garments. Cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Ah, give me your favour. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us thwart the king. Think upon what hath chanced. And at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Until then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are those not in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honour must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly I take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else, or leap. For in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great. Ought not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
I'm mad to say it. Is not thy master with him who would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the excess and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you dwell on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy God, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book, where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. See, our honoured hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs, themselves, and what is theirs in compt, to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces toward him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which leaps itself and falls on the others. How now? What need?
Almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Has he asked for me?
No, you not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people that should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love.
Oh.
Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon? I would, like the poor cat in the air.
Oh, pretty peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
Oh, what beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were mad. And to be so much more, you would be so much more the man. Nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both, and they have made themselves. And that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, had plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
But if we should fail...
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, will I, his two chamberlains, with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall seem a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain me in the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Who's there?
A friend?
What, sir, not yet at rest? I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. But when we can entreat an hour to serve, I would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when it is, it shall make honour for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep clear my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counselled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir, the like to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not? Fatal vision, sensible to feeling, as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, that was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to my eyes. Now, o'er the one-half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtain's sleep. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it, whilst I threat he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bells invite me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, that fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their posits that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die. Hark! I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended.
I.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bain.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lords together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen. The other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis have murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy thane, you do unbend your noble spirit to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afeard to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Firmer purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Oh, whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out my eye. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This, my hand, will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your colour,
Aye.
but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Hark more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself.
Wake Duncan with thy knocking!
I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were poor of Elgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, 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 who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor, here you may roast your goose. Oh, knock, knock, never quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Old devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Oh, marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance.
Is thy master stirring? Oh, our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, friends.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Oh, not yet.
You did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I will bring you to him.
No, I will make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror.
What's the matter?
Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee. Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is you say, the life?
You knew his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak, see and then speak yourselves. Awake. Awake. Ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason. Banquo, Donalbain, Malcolm, awake. Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Ring the bell.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak. Speak.
Gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Banquo, Banquo. Our royal master's murdered.
Woe! Alas, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I'd lived a blessed time.
What is amiss?
Oh, you are, and you do not know it. The spring, the head, The fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's martyred.
Oh, by whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood, so were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. And they stared and were distracted, and no man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Well, who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pauser. Reason!
Help me hence, sir!
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all.
Let us briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
I'll not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England. This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
Where's the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Aye. Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
Well, they were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is named already, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
They carried to Colmkill, sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? Hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
Oh, if he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice at this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, we'll fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the dark night for an hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide. But of that tomorrow. Hie you to horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we'll keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valour to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren sceptre in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rankers in the vessels of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings. The seed of Banquo, kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list and champion me to the utterance. It is concluded, Banquo. Thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Not had, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy.
Give us a light there, ho! It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down. You know your own degrees. Sit down, and first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Sweet remembrancer. Now, good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness Sid?
Here had we now our country's honour roofed, with a graced person of our Banquo present, whom I may rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Now shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Fit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seats. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Quite unmanned in folly.
And blood hath been shed ere now. The times have been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Hence! Shadow! Unreal mockery! Hence!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
And such things be, and overcome us as a summer's cloud without especial wonder. You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when now I think you may behold such sights, and keep the natural rubies of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sight, my lord?
Pray you speak not to him. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood.
They say, blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
How sayest thou then, Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow. And betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood, stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as gore. Strange things I have in head, which will to hand, that must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Right, the blinded cat hath refused.
Thrice said once the hedge pig whined.
Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Double, double.
Toil and trouble.
Fire burn.
Cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
No, you secret black and midnight hags. I conjure you, by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say, if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Grease from the murderer's gibbet, throw into the flame.
Come high or low.
Thyself and office.
Deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Beth. Beth. Beware. Macduff. Beware the thane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Here's another more potent than the first.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
What is this that rises like the issue of a king?
Listen,
but speak not to it.
Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
Oh, that can never be. Who can impress the forest? But the tree unfix his earthbound root. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you.
Show.
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 Show his eyes.
And grieve his heart.
Come, like shadows, so depart.
What? Will this line stretch out to the crack of doom? Filthy hands, why do you show me this? And now I see it is true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer away up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What is your grace's will?
So you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
Oh, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipates my dread exploit. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, put to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool, this deed I'll do before this purpose call. Oh, but no more sights! Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let's rather hold fast the mortal sword and, like good men, bestride our downfallen birthdom.
What I believe, I'll wail. What know, believe. And what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend, I will.
So you comes here?
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
Oh, my ever gentle cousin, welcome hither.
Stands Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
Oh, relation, that's too nice, but it's too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute seems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
But not a niggardly of speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumour of many worthy fellows that were out. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Seward and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? General cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner, were on the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven! What, man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed? Too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. Well, all my pretty ones, did you say all? Oh, Helgate. All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
Yeah, I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were the most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Oh, sinful Macduff. They were all struck at for thee.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with my eyes and the braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. And if he escape, will heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since his majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, afterwards read it, seal it, and again return to bed. All this while in a most fast sleep.
In this slumbery agitation, beside her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not repeat after her, having no witness to confirm my speech.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She is light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
Well, you see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out. Damned spot, out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Oh, hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. What need we fear? Who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have known the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mock that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Oh, here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
Oh, what a sigh is there! The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave.
Even so?
To bed. To bed. To bed. Come. Come. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from all the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand the chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing.
What wood is this before us?
Wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery ere in report of us.
It shall be done.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength would laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not coursed with those that should be ours, we would have met them, dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. I have supped full with horrors. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day till the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out. Out. Brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue. Thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir!
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave.
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming, I say a moving grove.
Fear not, till Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane, and now wood comes towards Dunsinane. Arm and out! If that which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun. and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Blow, winds! Come, rack! At least we'll die with harness at our back.
Now, near enough, your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They've tied me to the stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a man I am to fear, or none.
That way the noises. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou beest slain with no stroke of mine, the wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword, whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them?
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloody out of villain, and terms can give thee out.
Losest labour! Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born.
Spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so. For it hath cowed my better part of man. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gain to the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rebel's curse. What though Burnham Wood be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet will I try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he that first cries, hold, enough!
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's accursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak mass salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland.
Hail, King of Scotland.
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, as would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who as 'tis thought by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.